Welcome to Madrid, where every corner tells a story, every bite is an experience, and 2 days just isn't enough. In between the historic, time traveling portals and delicious eats filled with their own history, this vibrant Spanish capital is worth a visit. In this video, I'm going to share 6 food stops you can make while you tour and weave through the city, from the perfect breakfast cafe bakery to a buzzing Speakeasy Discotheque. This is 48 hours in Madrid. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first. If you find yourself waiting to check into your hotel or Airbnb early in the morning, like we did with suitcases and all, you'll want to grab some coffee and baked goods to fuel the rest of your day before the excursions begin at Il Riojano. The bakery cafe was founded in 1855 by a royal pastry chef and is still housed in the original mahogany and marble counters gifted by the Queen herself. Step inside and you'll actually be transported back to the 19th century. Don't worry about the tourist clamor, locals love it equally, and if you go early, you'll get a seat. Just keep walking to the back. They offer a fine selection of Spanish-style pastries, puff pastries, pies, cakes, desserts, sweets, and savories. I mean, the menu is extensive. Definitely get the tiramisu. That one was the best I've ever had. I'd also recommend one of the savory empanadas, and of course the popular puff pastry cream-filled bar tortillo, and try one without as well, like the honey smothered pistiños. The best plan of action is to order for the table and sample. So I'm just gonna try it. And of course it's like puff pastry. The chicken is definitely well seasoned. Depending on how hungry you are, you could probably share this with somebody. I'd recommend just getting a whole bunch of different things for the whole table. And you guys should be good really until lunchtime. Come early in the morning. So this one is called tortilla. It's fried in olive oil and it has cream inside. And then this one, also fried in olive oil, no cream, and it's like kind of like a flat folded piece of fried dough. And then this one is drenched in honey. So we're gonna try both. You guys are looking into it. We are. We want to see what's inside. It's just cream. It's just oh my god. So yeah, it's kind of puffy, but I don't think it's particularly heavy. So let's see. It's like mascarpone. Very nice, very light. I think this, along with something savory, and you're golden. In terms of accommodation, we found an amazing 2-bedroom apartment right in the middle of the city, central to pretty much everything. You could tell it was a remodeled unit, so that made it a much more pleasant stay. Wood floors and an upgraded kitchen and all. And you'll want a decent view while you're at it, so we were pretty lucky in that regard. The only downside was having to lug our baggage up the staircase. It was the apartment right on the top floor, so that was painful, but you can plan around it. Especially the day you check out, you might want to find a nearby storage unit so that you can mill around before your departure. Between the bakery, travel exhaustion, and the staircase, we took a long nap before making a trip to Mercado de San Miguel. Now, I've made a video about this place and walk you through the entire experience, so you can watch that separately. Either way, if you're a foodie, visiting the San Miguel food market has to be at the center of your Madrid activities, especially if time is limited. A few hours will be more than enough. You need to be hungry and try to go with at least one other person. They have an array of everything you can possibly imagine, from the traditional, like paella, all types of kebabs, to classic sweet treats, to the squid ink calamari sandwiches, to the dried cured ham. That one's a must, and you'll see it everywhere in all regions of Spain. Pig ears were probably the most unusual item we tried. Besides wine, they also have various drink stations, including one for Aperol Spritz. That's huge in Europe, by the way. So if you're a fan, you're in luck. If you know, you know. And one award for originality, the Bayo buns. All types of fillings. Like, wow. Basically, You haven't been to a food market until you step foot in this place. We ended up getting too distracted to get some dessert there, so stopped for Italian-style gelato on the way out. We got the rum and raisin and salted caramel from La Dolce Mio Helda Yima. I probably completely butchered that, I'm sorry, but it was amazing. On the way home, we also made a couple of stops. You'll see a lot of stalls on the side of the road where you can buy some things, as well as some stores that you can walk into that have shop fronts with some really interesting trinkets. Day 2, our last day really, sad but true. We got an early start and of course grabbed some brunch. Don Calamar will seem like an obvious pick because it's right in the middle of Plaza Mayor, one of Spain's most historic and lively squares. They're actually known for their fried calamari sandwiches, but there's a much larger menu to select from, and the plates are on display with a blown out menu right next to them to help you decide.
I'm going to try what's known as the Spanish omelet with some prawns. I think that was like kind of like a great protein-packed breakfast, and I'll get a little bit of like carbs from the potatoes. I'm gonna kind of show you a peek of what it looks like inside, but we're gonna be sitting outside because we just kind of want some fresh air.
Okay, the inside is tiny but cute. Good if you want some peace and quiet. A few recommendations from here, but it's up to you and your tastes, how hungry you are, and how large your party is. This is the fried potatoes and jamon serrano. And of course that Spanish omelet I was just on about. Don't be fooled, it's very filling. And this was only half the portion. That said, if you're gonna brunch in Spain, you have to try it if you never have. If you know you want to stay active after a heavy brunch, definitely get a cappuccino, alongside your sangrias of course. They also had these really cute olive oil squeeze bottles. Random little details, but these are the little things that reminded me that I was in Europe, not the US or Africa. Speaking of which, and I've heard people comment on this before, when you order shrimp, you're basically getting giant prawns. Yes, with the head on. But don't be intimidated, they're just as delicious, but much larger than you'd expect and may require additional work.
Oh, I'm so excited. I think we're just waiting for my brother's chicken dish and then we will dig in.
And there it was. Don't underestimate the simplicity of the dish. The chicken was perfectly cooked and very succulent.
Wait, because it's exhausting being on holiday.
Sans sarcasm, I will note that reviews on this place vary, so pick carefully. We liked our selections, but there are several other restaurants around the plaza that do offer brunch, so do your research. We walked it off, of course, made a few stops along the way, starting with the Royal Palace, which is amazing to walk through, and the Almudena Cathedral, which is right opposite there. There's so much to see, and Madrid is just screaming with history. I suppose you could say the same thing about most European capitals, but Madrid is definitely one for the books. Now, you may want to make a stop or two for some sweet energy, and there are 2 suggestions I would make as you sightsee. The first is one of the more old-school treats in Spain that dates back centuries. Turron is a traditional Spanish nougat and has a history that dates back 500 years, and possibly much earlier. At Vicens Turron, you'll discover over 300 flavors of sweets, including the holiday and seasonal flavors. Along with the free samples and friendly service, that will have you in there shopping for a while. What are they exactly? A nougat is primarily made from sugar and honey, toasted nuts, and egg whites, which can be chewy or crunchy. They're especially popular during the holidays as a treat. And by the way, turrón is the Spanish name for nougat.
Yeah, this is lemon with pepper. It also have a little salt, ginger. This one is apple. It has red apple and green apple. So it's salt and sour at the sweet and sour at the same time.
Okay.
This is guayaba in Spanish. It's like a very tropical fruit with caramel and gingerbread, like the ginger cookies in Christmas.
Gingerbread. I know.
Yeah, love it.
Very nice.
Gracias. I'm gonna ask to try this one because apparently it's the best one, but I definitely want to get the ginger one as well. Ooh, oh, that's beautiful. How do you pronounce the name of your store? Vicens. Ah, okay. Oh my god. Pistachio. Cherry. Guys, let's go. It's time to go. No, we gotta go because if we stay any longer, we're gonna buy the whole store and we gotta go get churros.
Exhibit A. You've been warned. Almost any flavor you can think of, some version of it exists in the Turron universe. And if you're into alcohol-infused dessert, Bailey's wasn't the only one. They had gin and tonic, margarita, etc. This place is definitely worth a stop, and every dime. We were actually on the way to Churros, so this was a perfect stop en route to sample and take the rest home for the holidays and as gifts. Speaking of churros, I knew come hell or high water, I had to try them. It was my first time in Spain, and I'd heard plenty about churros over the years, and finally I was stepping into a place that truly did them justice. Chances are many of you have had the same thought, and after all, who doesn't love fried dough that you can dip in chocolate? What started off as a small family business turned into a Madrid mainstay. And if you've ever had churros in the US, you'll notice right away they're not treated the same here. At Tacita de Plata, churros aren't an afterthought. They're the bread and butter, or should I say churros and chocolate on the menu. You get a generous portion, perfect for sharing, paired not with some thin, watery cocoa mix, but a velvety, rich cup of glorious chocolate. And that's just one kind. They offer several types of chocolate, including options for those with dietary sensitivities. These churros, warm, crisp, fluffy, and nothing like cardboard, probably deserved a sit down, but we were in a rush, so I recommend planning ahead and avoid making too many stops as you explore the city. And by the way, if you're in the mood for something else, the menu goes beyond just churros. So you and your comrades will have a lot of options. They have everything from donuts to waffles. Chocolate should definitely be the priority, and you have to try the churros. But you have some tasty choices.
Oh my gosh! So the chocolate is like really hot, and it like the warm texture of the churros it just works.
Look, she's speechless. That's how good it is.
And the chocolate is like, it's not too sugary,
That's good.
so it's like, so I think it complements the churros. It's great.
Alrighty, y'all.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Yes, that's an old door to a spirits shop actually. Well, a facade with a whole venue behind there. So number 6 on the list of recommendations, in a way saving the best for last, is Calle 365, and you'll be blown away by the unique nature and ingenuity of it. First of all, the bar in Discotheque is essentially a speakeasy. It's not obvious from the outside at all, and there is far more than meets the eye. There are 2 entrances, and you get a shot on entry. While you do pay a small fee, about 15 euros, I believe, you get a generous, playfully presented cocktail once you walk in. In fact, there are some instances where you need a password. Pretty cool, right? Also, the themes change, but the neon accents don't go away. When we went, it seemed like a Brazilian theme, and this spills over into the food, which is the next coolest part. To this day, I regret not ordering something to eat, because they do have a food truck in the middle of the dance floor. You need to see it to believe it. It was amazing, and they had tacos and arepas and the like. I definitely recommend that you check this place out, especially if you like dancing. And the vibe was great. People were really happy and friendly, and it just tied this whole experience into a bow. And that's what it is, an experience. I hope you find this list useful for when you plan to visit or pass through Madrid. There's so much to do, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. We were actually en route to Avila, Spain to see more of the countryside, but Madrid was so worth it. If your time is tight, use it wisely. In the next episode of Plate Chronicles, we'll be heading to Sesimbra, Portugal, one of the country's most beloved coastal towns and wine country. So stay tuned. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment, and thanks for watching. See you next time.